Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, here to give you all of the news from a galaxy far, far away and to keep you updated for all of the upcoming Lucasfilm projects. In today's news update we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett, speculation for The Mandalorian Season 3 and much more. Before I dive into the video, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new and welcome if you are, and make sure you hit the notification bell to be alerted each and every time I post new content to the channel. You can expect daily Star Wars updates from me. I also just want to say, as I did yesterday, that the High Republic is now out and I've pre-ordered my copy. If you want to see me covering it and giving my analysis of each of the stories, then please be sure to head over to my Patreon page where I will be covering all of it. So without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So Inverse have written a really interesting article which talks about the Book of Boba Fett and how a theory could solve a huge plot hole that nobody noticed. Just like his father before him, Boba Fett is forging his own path now. The bounty hunter will helm a Mandalorian spin-off show, The Book of Boba Fett, which drops this December. In our first glimpse of the series after the credits for the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, Boba Fett and Fennec Shand unseated Bib Fortuna, prompting him to become the leader of the underworld on Tatooine. As impressive as this image was, it prompted some fans to ask what exactly happened to the Hutts to prompt Bib Fortuna to rise to power instead of Jabba the Hutt's relatives. The theory goes as follows. One Redditor recently brought up this inconsistency. Hutts live a long time and Jabba wasn't the only member of his family. Surely one of them would pick up the slack from Jabba's death, instead of leaving the job to the Twi'lek Bib Fortuna. Yes, he seems to be Jabba's second in command, but the Hutts are the prime crime organization in the galaxy, so they'd want to keep it in the family. So the theory involves Chuck Wendig's canon novel Aftermath to provide an explanation. According to the book, after Jabba's death, the Hutts convened to decide who would take his place. They never came to a firm agreement, so a power vacuum formed. Perhaps while the decision was still being made, Bib Fortuna offered to step in on a temporary basis. Then he did a good job, so the Hutts never bothered to find a replacement. This explanation also brings up another detail from Aftermath that could make a Bib coup easy. After Leia murdered Jabba, many slaves were freed. While freeing slaves is an irrefutably good thing, the paradigm shift in the society combined with the recent fall of the Empire makes for a perfect storm for Bib Fortuna to take over Jabba's palace for the time being. From a storytelling point of view, the reason why Bib Fortuna came to power is quite obvious. He got the face recognition for viewers and was in dire need of an image update, with a hilarious sounding name to boot. However, while his rise to power is easily explained, the relationship between Boba and Bib Fortuna remains more of a mystery. After about 5 years, Boba violently takes over Jabba's criminal empire. Now that Bib's rise to power is explained, one huge question remains. How will Boba rule over his new empire, and what foes will he come up against? Unfortunately, fans will have to wait until December to find out. Now I will just say that in a previous video I talked about how Rotta the Huttlet is still alive after the Empire and how he might be coming after Boba to take over the throne, following in the legacy of Jabba. I also saw that a few of you would rather see Rotta the Hutt or any Hutt who is going to contest for the throne become an ally to Boba Fett rather than an enemy. But again, this is subjective and the show might not even consider the Hutts whatsoever, but I don't think they're going to go down that path because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are very much aware of every little detail to the backstory of how we got to the Book of Boba Fett in terms of Bib Fortuna, Jabba's empire, and all of the Hutts that are still out there. I do think we are going to see Hutts again in live action, so that is a very exciting prospect nonetheless. But let me know what you guys think of this theory, and let's move on to our next article. So this one is talking about speculation that Robert Downey Jr. will be in The Mandalorian Season 3. A few weeks ago I talked about how Lars Mikkelsen has been confirmed to be playing Grand Admiral Thrawn, or so it's been claimed by Lucasfilm insiders. In this one they're talking about Robbie Downey Jr. Now the problem I have with big A-list celebrities appearing in The Mandalorian is it damages what the show represents. I'm of the opinion, as I'm sure many of you are, that including A-listers kind of ruins the aesthetic of The Mandalorian and puts too much focus on those actors themselves, so I think it's best if we stay away from that. But let's see what this article says. The Mandalorian producer Jon Favreau and Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. share a long history in Hollywood. The two are said to have remained close friends ever since Iron Man. Jon Favreau once again directed Iron Man 2 and continued to appear as Tony Stark's closest confidant Happy Hogan in the MCU, while Robert Downey Jr. is said to have been on the verge of starring in Favreau's science fiction action Cowboys and Aliens to take on the lead role before it was handed to Daniel Craig. So it's hardly surprising that well-informed Hollywood insider Daniel Richman is claiming that Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. are actively looking to work together on a new joint project. And this could very well be any Star Wars series in the making. It could be The Mandalorian Season 3 or one of the upcoming spin-offs such as Rangers of the New Republic or even the Ahsoka Tano series, which all have Jon Favreau in common. But I don't know about you guys, I don't want to see a too familiar face in The Mandalorian. I like how non-A-list celebrities can take on the roles of these characters and we perceive them just as those characters instead of other big roles they may have done in the past. I don't know if that makes sense, but when it comes to Robert Downey Jr. and, rumours that The Rock would be in The Mandalorian Season 3, I just don't want that to make itself manifest in a show we all love. But my opinion is but one. You let me know what you think in the comments down below about this. So I quickly just want to turn your guys' attention over to an article which I read, which states that the Mandalorian characters are coming to Galaxy's Edge. So apparently Boba Fett, Grogu, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin are all coming to Galaxy's Edge once the pandemic is over. These are plans that Disney have had since 2019 and they're going to make themselves manifest. Now I know this doesn't matter to too many people, but I just wanted to point that out. So that is all of the news I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to give me a big fat like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you next time. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. And like I said at the beginning, I will be covering the High Republic on my Patreon page. For just $2 or $10 a month, you can help to support my channel so I can keep coming back here every day to give you fresh content. I will see you next time. Have a good one.